One is actually going the other direction here in this second story, Adam. We knew if we're talking about, money in the coffers, we know the money is in the coffers here. It was just a little bit of a delayed reaction as to how they wanted to roll it out, what the strategy was going to be. And I think that maybe at the end of the day, maybe they went about it the right way for what they're trying to do is let everybody else fight and fight and fight and fight. And they're going to sit there and blow through tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. And then we kind of come in and do our thing in wave number 2. And talking about Bet365.
So the question with 365 is this: what is the goal? What do they really want? And part of the answer to that question goes back to what we just talked about with Circa. If you have ownership wealthy enough to just kind of ride it out, you can play it any way you want. It doesn't ultimately matter whether you decide to jump in, throw a bunch of money at it, or decide to wait until later. But what comes with that is, what are you willing to accept as success? Because it's going to be very difficult at this point for 365 to get to a DraftKings or FanDuel level of where they are right now. That being said, could 365 end up as the number 3 operator in this country? Without question. Mm-hmm. We've seen it in their early results in Ohio when they came in and were offering some big bonuses that they were charting up at the top in the first year in Ohio. What we see now is that they're launching both their sports betting and their iGaming product in Pennsylvania. And that is, of course, one of the more lucrative markets in the country if you can get it going, especially because of the fact that you have iGaming to offer. That is the big differentiator for a number of companies in terms of their ability to ride this out long term. So now 365 is in that state. We will see what they do in terms of promotional strategy if they decide to go about it similar to the way they went about things in Ohio. But in an environment where we keep talking so much about who's not going to be doing this anymore, slowly and steadily, we see 365 approaching its rollout in the United States. And again, it's a company that was not in any way dependent upon success in the United States for it to survive, for it to thrive. That's not what they need. They are one of the most successful gaming operators in the world at this point. They can take whatever approach they want with the U.S. market, and slow and steady appears to be the way they're going.
Yeah, I look at Bet365 and, it's like I said, if they want to kind of just slowly roll it into whatever, will there ever be widespread online poker in the United States? Who knows? But if there is, they've got a poker product. Will there ever be widespread iCasino in the United States? We think there will be at some point, Adam, but we can't say for certain. But if there is, they can roll that out. We know they have a really good sports betting product. There's a lot going on with them that it's much easier for them to just turn something on than it is for a lot of the other people out there. And you've mentioned not only the money, but look, the experience. This is a company that has been around for 25 years now. I think it was 99, if I remember, when 365 really got going and everything. So, I mean, they have 25 years of experience, 25 years of figuring out how to do this. And it's if they wanted to do poker down the line, if they could. If they want to do iCasino over there, they could. There's it's almost possibilities endless.
True. The one thing I would keep an eye on when it comes to watching, I'm not going to say parallel paths, but certainly paths that could have an effect on each other. Just keep an eye on what happens with gambling reform in the UK. It's still an ongoing discussion as to what ultimately happens there. That could have some effect on what we see 365 do rest of world. It's not just about the United States, of course. There are hot new markets like Brazil. There's a lot that's happening worldwide right now when it comes to gambling. And because 365 has such an enormous reach, that you will see interconnected parts have effects on the other. But for now, brand new state in Pennsylvania, and what is likely not to be a cheap launch to have to go out there and compete in an established market in Pennsylvania.